there. You're watching QTV this morning, and I am Jana Pasonko. Thank you so much for joining us. In Ibrahim Abalda's voice, it's another Wednesday morning.
Yeah. Thank you. I mean, you said it well. I mean, it's good to be back here. We are back again. It's Wednesday. And very soon it will be Thursday. And, you know, when...
The week ends.
Yeah, for us.
The weekend, you know, it's so fast, you know.
It is. I mean, I've realized that these days, I mean, days goes by very fast.
Yeah.
You know. When was Tubaski? And now it's like, you know, almost 2 weeks now.
It rained this morning. Good morning, Mr. Ade. It rained.
It rained.
Why are you reminding us of the rain?
I don't know, because you're the one that is always attaching things.
It rained very heavily this morning.
Cats and dogs.
Overnight.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
It rained cats and dogs. Exactly. So we are back again. But it's unfortunate the rain didn't meet me at home.
Okay, so
you know,
what is the essence?
Well, it's good. I mean, when you're at home and it rains, you're about to come to work. I mean, you will find an excuse to cancel coming to work. I mean, at the same time, especially when you have a madam who is jonge as mine, you know, and she's just gonna put the churai and start all over the house.
Anyway,
so you won't come to work.
We have our hot beverage because, you know, as the research shows that, you know, when it rains, you know, workers are very lazy, so we have our cup of coffee.
Not Q group workers, of course.
Yeah, but generally you just get lazy, you know, because of how good the weather is. I didn't even feel like going to, you know, sit down today to have my makeup done or anything. I just want to, you know, because it's chilled and stuff, so it's good to just, you know, come on. But thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen. So today, as usual, we have the African proverb, we have the newspaper review. Our guest is already here, Ade Rami, to help us analyze some of the stories that we have in the papers. And on Community Watch today, once again, we'll be taking a look at the handing over ceremony of bosses to President Adama Barrow. And we'll be joined by Ansumana Isonyasi here to have that discussion. And on the click segment, as usual, we'll be joined by Skengman Sweezy to take us through what is happening in the world of entertainment. So, Ibrahima, what's the African proverb?
Yes, it reads, Pepper has a beautiful face, but ugly temper. Pepper has a beautiful face, but an ugly temper. Yeah, so Mr. Ade,
and of course, if we start with the literal interpretation of it, when you look at some peppers and you look at other vegetables, you know, be it an apple or a fruit like an apple rather, you look at it and you think, oh, this is beautiful, I'm going to bite, I'm going to chew, and then you make that mistake with a pepper. No. Boy, you will regret it. It looks beautiful, it looks shiny.
So nice.
And it looks so nice.
Yeah.
But underneath that, so that's the literal for the pepper. But of course, I guess what it's sort of saying in the kind of wider context is that don't judge everything by appearances. Appearances can be deceptive. So something that might look nice and shiny and so on, scratch beneath the surface and you might find something hot and fiery, and it could also happen with some people. You know, facially they have a very nice demeanor, but you dare to upset them, boy, if they explode, it will be like a volcano. So
not all that glitters is gold.
Further takes my mind to, you know, sometimes when individuals are looking for jobs, you know, they have very nice CVs, like their CVs are so rich, you know, oh, experience 5 years, oh, I worked at whatever. And then, you know, you make the mistake of not testing these individuals. And 2 years down the line, you're going to regret it as an employer.
2 years.
A year. 1 month. 1 month. You're going to regret it.
And we've been the victim of that even here at QTV. I have to
Are
be
you
honest.
joking?
I am not joking.
Okay.
And so because of that, you know, myself and my assistant editor, Babuka Sise, we started devising
checking
certain tests for people, and we didn't just take their CV, because some of them, the CVs, you probably found out that it wasn't even written by them.
It's a lie.
Because you give them some written work and you think, is this even in English? And you thought, well, look at their CV, it's beautiful. And so we started giving them tests that they had to do in front of us. And that is the acid test. If they can't, then do it. So, you know, you're not going to be deceived by the CV. So we definitely have to admit that we have been the victim.
You see CVs that are extremely good, you know, put it, and for me, I do not mind if a CV is rich, if it's real. But, you know, Mr. Ade, I can't understand how people have the guts to actually fake their CVs and put things that do not even exist, and you can't project these things. I don't understand that.
And that's where you always fail, because if you say, I did this, I did this, I did that, and then they ask you to do something similar to what you claim you were, and then you can't deliver, and they're thinking, so what's happened? What's different from what you claimed you could do? And sometimes, unfortunately, you've already hired the person based on that CV. So now, we don't do that.
But there should always be a way of, I mean, trying to prove that if the person is that qualified when it comes to the CV that he showed you. I mean, we can copy and paste, I mean, our CVs anyhow and send them.
I think people should be taken to jail for that.
Yeah. But it's, you know, I think Balde kind of let us down when he said, you know, about the whole, you know, all that glitters is not gold. And that's the kind of thing, because, you know, you see a shiny, brilliant CV, and then underneath it is pure fakery, and that's not good.
Yeah, that's huge. That's huge.
That's massive.
Yeah, but I think generally employers are also changing. You know.
Yeah, I mean, people aren't sucked in anymore by that kind of thing.
But obviously, there are certain jobs as well that are so visible where you don't also need to do the testing because you already know.
But you know what's also important is that there are people who not only can they write a beautiful CV, they can actually give a brilliant interview.
True.
So when you come to the interview and you think, you know what, I'm not only going to give this person this job, they're probably good enough to do my job.
Exactly.
Based on the interview.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to the real thing,
it's not going to work.
So it's the only way to test people is to put them through.
Well, we have them. Maybe not sometimes only the junior staff, but we have.
Who said junior staff?
Top managers that depend on certain people in other companies, in other departments. It happens everywhere.
It's like a kind of
Yes, I mean the thing is, the higher up you go, the joke is the less work you do because you delegate. But you have to delegate to people who can perform, and so that's that's part of.
Yeah, and again, you know, this takes my mind to, we discussed this before, Kelly, for example, you know, when he was sentenced recently, I went back to YouTube to like listen to his songs, you know, and I was wowed about how he's able to do all those things
and then
underneath, and then his songs, you know, it's just, you know, raises your soul and just makes you feel good about yourself.
I believe I can fly.
And you believe you can fly.
That kind of song.
Those kinds of songs.
But, you know, human beings are like that. And I always say this to people that, you know, having grown up and lived in Sierra Leone, when I found out some of my own friends had joined the rebel movement, the RUF, who were busy cutting up, you know, then you realize that these guys who we played football together, we hung out, we did this, they're the same guys who are doing this wicked stuff. We can be like that.
Yeah, you don't know people.
Yes.
You know, Ibrahim, have you been in any situation where you later realized that, you know, like a practical situation where you totally figured out that what glitters is not really gold in a scenario?
Well, many a times. I mean, I witnessed, I mean, an incident where a person portray what he is not. You understand? I mean, this is a person who portray that he is a very religious and a respected person in a society.
Very nice.
You understand? But I was disappointed when I heard few things about him, you know, which were very disappointing. And, you know, it teaches me that, I mean, you should not always see a person's appearance and
don't be deceived by appearances.
But did you also verify, because that's hearsay?
Well, I was going to the very point I was going to ask him.
According to how they say it, I mean,
that's dangerous.
I was able to verify. Yes, I was able to verify.
But you know, it just takes me back. Not that, but what we were saying about jobs and in one rare instance where it flipped on its head. I once applied for a job, and it was to be on promotion. I was working in the British Civil Service, and I got there. And honestly, I thought this is the greatest job ever. And there were about 10 of us going for the job, and I got the job. On the day I was meant to start. And this shows you how long ago it was. In those days, people smoked in the office. People smoked in offices, they smoked on buses, they smoked on trains, all of which you can't do anymore in England. And so on my first day there, they introduced me to my workmates. And there were 10 people in the room. And I think 8 of them were smoking. The smoke hung in the air. And I said, is this the office I'll be working in? And the guy said, yeah, you know. And I said, I can't work here. I said, I will leave every day with my clothes reeking of tobacco.
And you don't smoke. It's unfair.
And he was quite shocked. He said, but you're coming in as a junior manager, you know, and you've been given the job, you know, 10 other people, you know, we could have given it to somebody else. I said, I would never work in this office. And I phoned my office that I had left. They'd even given me a gold pen at my old office. And I said, hold my job, please, I'm coming back. And I went back. I went back to my job. I mean, but you know, the way they sold it, this is a fantastic job. You'll be working with great people and so on. So it wasn't me selling my CV. They had sold the job to me. But what they hadn't sold were, and I should have asked about the working conditions. There is no way I would have worked in that office for $1 million. It was terrible. When you walked in, you just saw the smoke hanging in the air and people were smoking and they
But Mr. Eddie, you know what's funny? When you're getting a job to like work in an institution, they wouldn't tell you. Like,
no, you wouldn't. You
can't know.
You know, but what it taught me was that subsequently, every time I applied for a job,
you have to look.
I would say to them, can I see where I'll be working?
Yeah, the space.
And they're like, oh, why? I said, well, because, you know, because they were always surprised, because they always say to you, do you have any questions at the end of the interview?
And you don't ask.
And I would say, yeah, can I see the working environment that I'll be in?
And
it always takes them by surprise because they think you're going to ask them about money or this or that,
or something.
Not where am I going to be working? And I always tell people, this is something you need to know, because it might not be an atmosphere that's conducive to you, you know, mentally. You know, there was no way I could have concentrated.
Yeah, but that's important, because, you know, when the employers are kind of like calling you for an interview or wanting to employ you, they think like everybody's desperate to like get a job. So asking that question, actually, it's even going to, you know, get you an edge above everybody else, because then they will understand this individual is not desperate, wants to be comfortable wherever they're working, things like that. It's not the usual questions that individual will ask.
I can tell you another question. When I worked at the Cabinet Office in England and I got that job, imagine Tony Blair was Prime Minister. Everybody wanted to work in the Cabinet Office. We got to the end of the interview and, you know, it was really because of where it was we all wanted, you know. And they said, do you have any questions? I said, I don't have a question, I have a statement. They were like, really? They said, what? I said, you really need to give me this job. They said, why? I said, because I've been on your website. I said, here are 100 mistakes. I said, if I'm not here to correct it, you're going to give it to somebody.
So did you end up getting it?
I got the job.
That's good.
I got the job.
That's good. That's good. That's good.
Impressive.
Anyway, I'm taking that with me. So anytime I'm getting another job,
seriously,
I'll have to ask, show me the office space, or maybe ask, how toxic is the environment?
That you might not get an answer to, because they'll be admitting to their toxicity.
Me, when I was getting to the real world and getting a real job, I was never told that working environments can be. But anyway,
but the one, honestly, the one at the Cabinet, they even said to me, they said, you know what, you're the only person who said that to us, because I guess other people are scared because it's a Cabinet. But honestly, there were so many mistakes on their webpage. It was an embarrassment. And I said to them, this is your face to the world. And it's full of mistakes.
All right, thank you so much. So interesting African proverb, you know, always dig deeper. You know, don't just look at the surface, dig deeper to be able to know, you know, whatever is underneath. So we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to the newspaper review. We'll be right back.
Check out the all-new Tigo 8 at S-Pass Motors. Call 3522-222 or 353-2222 for more information. Cherry.
As the fastest growing GSM company in the Gambia, QCell has the widest 4G plus coverage in the country, 3 times faster internet speed than our competitors. So switch now and dial *335# and enjoy what true 4G feels like. QCell, the Gambia's trusted network. Your favorite QCell service has gotten bigger. eFunkanta. Now you can loan bigger credit amounts to make life easier for you. Loan $75 and $100 and pay later. Yes, you heard me right. Get credit loan from $10 to $100 using eFunkanta by dialing *393#. Anytime you run out of credit, whether you want to buy Q-Power, browse the internet, make urgent calls, or send SMS.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. So Ibrahim Abalde had to leave us due to reasons beyond his control, but I'm here with Adid Rami, and we'll get to continue this program together. Sure. So we just head right on to the newspaper review. You have the point there.
I have the point and Foroya.
Yeah.
And yes, as you rightly say, so do not adjust your set, but our colleague has had to go.
Yeah.
So I'll start with the point,
yes,
if I may. High Court Assistant Bailiff finally arrested. Quite an interesting case, and we can delve into it possibly. And then the other one here, which I think they've actually given possibly 2 bites of the cherry to this story, because it says 2 people arrested over death of 2-year-old boy.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom, CPS calls for probe into Mohammed's death.
Yeah.
And I think it's the same.
It's the same one.
It's the same child.
Yeah.
And then there's another story here. VP Juf hails Barrow's development agenda as he addresses the 17th edition of the India-Africa Conclave. And then finally, in the bottom right, Gambia has shortage of medical specialists. Who says that? Is the World Health Organization rep, Desta Tirone, who says that. And if I can come to Foroya, 2 in police custody in connection to death of 2-year-old boy, the same case that I just mentioned earlier. Truth Commission says NIA operatives acted with total impunity, disregard for human life. Again, Foroya has been going through the TRRC reports and updating us on recommendations on a daily basis. ONEP engages political parties on alternative dispute resolution. Anybody who watched QTV News would have seen our report on it yesterday. Quite an interesting program, talking about, getting them together to stop, election violence and so on. CPS calls CPA again, into death of minor, the same case. So I'm not sure why both papers have given it a and it's separate headline. President Barrow calls for private sector participation in transport industry, and of course we will be getting onto this. In State versus Boubacar Keita's case, defense appeals against court ruling on DNA test, and spontaneous demonstration at the courts controlled with civility. Interesting. And is the government taking the oil spill seriously? So some really interesting
I think
ones there.
The same stories. CPA engages police to probe death of a 2-year-old boy in Bob Keita's trial, and also police open investigations into death of a child under suspicious circumstances. And also here, President Adama Barrow commends Q Group GTSC collaboration, and GCAA Director General welcomes launch of renewable energy project. And failure to sterilize tobacco instruments can be prone to infections like hepatitis or the same.
Well, tobacco instruments?
Yeah.
Really? So like a pipe or anyway, we might delve into that.
Tattoo.
Oh.
Tattoo.
Tattoo.
Tattoo instruments. Yeah.
Okay,
tattoo
cool.
As in tattoo.
I hate tattoos.
Yeah, tattoo. Yeah.
They're an abomination.
Yeah. Are they?
I hate them.
Yeah.
With a passion.
Why is that?
I've never liked it. Leave your skin the way God created it.
Yeah.
I've never
and also,
liked it.
sometimes they have these permanent tattoos, and sometimes you just want to get rid of it, and you can't.
And honestly, on black,
it's painful
if you have dark skin and you do a tattoo, it just looks like you have some vile disease. So,
I thought so too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless it doesn't look
color,
good on
unless if it's a bright color or something.
But anyway, that's another topic.
Yeah, that's another topic of its own, right?
Yeah.
So, where should we start from?
Well, you know what? Let me break ranks.
Yeah.
And this is a bit of a rant.
Yeah.
And it's because of something that happened this morning here on QTV, and people don't need to panic. But as news editor, we get lots of letters daily asking for coverage. And what I've noticed on many letters is it won't have a date, it won't have a time, or as happened this morning, we went to the venue only to be told there's nothing happening here, and then we phoned to be told that the venue had been changed. Nobody had bothered to tell us that the venue had changed, but then to really send me over the edge, they phoned our receptionist Matilda and said, why are QTV people not here? And I said, put them on the phone, let me blast them.
I
said, they changed the venue today, they didn't tell us, and they're asking why we're not there. So please, people, if you are sending, and I tell you this, I could have spread out about 10 or 20 letters that don't have the time, the date, telephone number.
All the required information.
And weekly we have venue changes at the last second. So please, if you want us to cover your event, date, time, place, and if you change the venue, let us know. Honestly, so I'll start with that.
That's simple. It has happened to me before, and it's just, it's a total waste of time because some of these events are not even paid for. It's we using our own resources, going to these venues.
And the one that really makes me angry is when somebody hasn't put a date or a time, and then they're phoning you and saying, why are you not here? And you're like, I'm holding your letter. And all it has is the date of the letter. Doesn't tell us the venue, it doesn't tell us the time, doesn't even have the date. Like, what are you thinking? And you say, oh, why are you not here covering my event? So please, I mean, just a bit of care.
So I think on the papers, it's all about CPA engaging the police to
it's
of a 2-year-old boy in Bob Keita's trial.
You know, he's Boubacar Keita, he's Bob Keita. I have to be honest about this, and I admitted as much yesterday when I was discussing this with Mr. Mboj on Drive Time. I had no knowledge of this case at all, and that maybe shows my lack of interest in whatever, I don't know, but apparently this case is like wildfire on social media and of course in conventional media here. And as it says here, 2 in police custody in connection to the death of a 2-year-old boy. And Jedaba, perhaps you can update people as to, you know, maybe at least the circumstances of the boy's death, because I think you've been following the case
but right
much
now,
more than I have.
But right now, the police is yet to come out with a final report. We are just aware that according to the police, 2 individuals have already been arrested to help the police in investigating the matter. 2 individuals who were there when this particular suspicious circumstance
leading to the child's
death. So currently, we are aware, according to the police as well, that the child's body is in the car with the auntie, according to alleged, you know, in the car. And then now the police IGP has instructed Interpol to actually locate the Sena Mumbai to actually ensure that she's back to the Gambia to further help in the investigation of the child's death. But this is going side by side with the rape trial as well, and these are 2 different.
But they're connected.
They are connected, but these are like 2 different things happening. And yesterday we saw how the public, you know, a lot of people were at the Bundung Magistrates Court, kind of protesting, I can say, calling for the immediate release of Bob Keita.
And wearing T-shirts, according to my colleague, Mr. Tunkara, who was amazing.
Wearing T-shirts, but this is a court case that is ongoing. And it's based on the country's constitution as to how things should go. And then people have gone to the extra mile of even insulting and bringing some form of allegation to the judge, who is actually you know, the magistrate for this cause that we are talking about. So there's a lot of confusion, as you mentioned, when it comes to this case. But it further shows you how Gambians can be sometimes when there's lack of understanding as to processes and procedure.
I mean, in terms of the child's death, it says here, the CPSA raised concerns after gathering media reports that Mohammed was left unattended in a locked car for nearly 4 hours, and as a result reportedly developed complications and died shortly after. I have to say that sort of incident is not unusual in the Western world. It
happens. Even in Gambia
we hear it a lot that, you know, somebody forgot their child in a hot car and that child dies as a result. So that's that's the separate matter that's being investigated. The circumstances leading to the child's death. So yeah.
But anyway, let's just wait for the courts. Let's also wait for the police investigation, because whatever the case is, that's, you know, the end of it. If the police come up with an investigation, that's what we have to go by. And whatever the court decides with the evidence that they have, that is what we have to go by as well. Yeah, so basically we wait for the police and the courts to actually decide how this matter will be handled subsequently. But as we speak, it has now become sort of a public discussion, and it's quite normal that, you know, we have the conversation, although it's in court, but there are just certain small issues, especially when it comes to this investigation, that we have to talk about, because the police is currently handling it.
I mean, I went somewhere to buy food, and the person said to me, "What do you think of this Bob Cater case?" And I said, "You know what, can I be honest?" I said, "I keep hearing about this,
but you're not like..."
I said, "I haven't a clue, let me go and check up on it." And she's like, "But you're in the media, surely you'll be covering it." I said, "We haven't." So I then started doing some investigation and reading up on it. But it was all kind of new to me. So
so let's talk about the GCAA, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority Director General welcomes launch of renewable energy project. So generally, renewable energy is a good thing.
We need them as many as possible. You know, across Africa, we've been saying that, you know, countries should be using renewable energy to generate all sorts of things, particularly electricity. And no surprise if I mention Cape Verde here, they are leading the way in the world. By 2025, that country will be 100% reliant on renewable energy. So all their electricity will come from solar and wind. No fossil fuels. They will be the first country in the world to do that. They are our neighbor. We should go there and learn from them. You know, I keep saying this, but I don't think anybody's gone there to speak to them.
So it's talking about the project seeks to mitigate the impact of climate change in the Gambia. I'm speaking exclusively to the Voice newspaper on Monday. Mr. Bojang expressed that they are highly dependent on electricity as an institution, but civil aviation as an industry, we are one of the biggest contributors of emissions of CO2 and pollution of the environment. Of
course, with planes flying, every time you fly. That's why when COP26 happened, there was a lot of criticism. That how are people talking about climate change and emissions, and you're inviting people to fly from all over the world? Why didn't they hold it virtually? And so yes, because, you know, planes emit
they do
CO2. So
so hopefully we will reach a stage where, you know, something can be walked around whereby, you know, even if maybe less emissions, you know, innovations are coming up.
Innovations are coming up, but it's a difficult one because the world has gotten used, before COVID, the world had gotten used to traveling. You know, 50 or 60 years ago, to say, oh, I'm going to jump on a plane and go on holiday here, there, was rare. Now it's the norm. People plan their years saying, when my holidays come, I'm going to jump on a plane and take a flight to somewhere. So how do you wean people off that? You know, in England, thanks to COVID and thanks to the hot weather they're having now, a lot of people are actually spending their holidays in England because in this week rather, they've recorded the hottest temperatures ever recorded in England, ever, 40.2 and 40.4 in some cases, and people have died as a result of the extreme heat. So people who would normally fly from England to places like Gambia and elsewhere are now spending their time there, and so, you know, less flying. And if people get used to that, obviously that will impact on us, impact on a country like Cape Verde as well, which relies so heavily on tourism and tourism from the West. So these are things, but renewable energy, we have to welcome that because it's brilliant. It is the way forward.
It is. Any interesting headlines there?
Yeah, there's one which kind of sort of piqued my interest, and it's High Court Assistant Bailiff finally arrested. They claim that he obtained money by false pretense. Somebody wanted to buy land in Sukuta belonging to somebody, and he said he paid me $500,000. I gave him a receipt, promised to give him a title deed. After several follow-ups, I could not give him a title deed. reported me to the police, and I was charged with fraud and obtaining money by false pretense, the guy has said in his defense. And so this said that there'd been a warrant for the guy's arrest, and he has finally been arrested. I don't know why. Probably one of the reasons they couldn't find him to arrest him is because he doesn't have an address. But that's another one of my, you know, if somebody has an address, you turn up there and you arrest
but
them.
generally when it comes to land issues, you know, land, rent, the regulations have to be tightened.
They have to be tightened. They have to be, how many times have I heard since I came to the Gambia about people saying that 2 or 3 people claimed to have been sold the same piece of land? I've heard it many times. And the number of land disputes I've heard, it's ridiculous. And you're thinking, why is this? How is it possible for people to have been sold land here? And then you've had instances where people have said that, you know, I went to physical planning and they drew this, you know, area which they said was mine, only for the state to tell me that, in fact, I was encroaching on state. I mean,
it's not organized. It's too
seriously disorganized.
Yeah,
seriously
disorganized.
And so, you know, this case about somebody taking money and not giving somebody a receipt, etc., etc., it's going to be one of a thousand.
And this is not even good for the real estate business. People want to buy lands, they're scared.
And you want to buy land and have peace of mind, but you're scared.
You bought a land for thousands, and then you're at home thinking, oh, next minute someone might say, oh, this is not yours, it's mine. So it's hard.
Since
you
I
might
moved
even
here,
build it,
and then
someone from nowhere is going to come and claim it.
And that has happened since I came to the Gambia. Not to me, but, you know,
exactly.
I'm aware of instances. And since I came here, and people know that I bought land and I'm building, they keep saying to me, oh, can you recommend? I don't even have the confidence to recommend that you go and buy land here. Because I don't know, you know, I don't know if it's going to come and be challenged, you know. So, because I've been there when people have been arguing with an alcalo, that, but you are the one who gave me the stamp on this. And he was like, no, I don't remember doing it.
You work hard, and you can't even buy a land because you're scared. And Mr. Ade, in the next few years, you know, if people don't get land now, I mean, my generation and stuff, forget it. Lands are getting expensive day by day. So for me, if you don't get a land now, you're done.
Yeah, well, as a friend of mine who
you're done.
A friend of mine watches this morning, so he'll know that I'm talking about him in this instance. As we were driving to Sanyang, he showed me an area, and he said he once helped somebody who was a night watchman at a hotel in the Senegambia area, and this person 15 years ago was so grateful, took him to this piece of land and said, this is mine, and as a thank you, you can have it.
Okay.
And he was like, imagine 15 years ago, it's like, Sanyang, what do I want to do in Sanyang? And he turned it down.
Hey.
And he was saying that, he said,
Sanyang is
I
the
could
big
work
deal.
for 20 years and not be able to afford that piece of land anymore. You know, and so you're right.
So I think as young people, it's now.
Yeah.
Especially my age, 25, going up, it's now.
Put aside some money.
Put aside some money. You know, you can even do a mortgage. Look for, I know it's hard to like get a structured, but you know, talk to someone you trust, do a mortgage, pay it bit by bit and stuff. Because if we do not buy these things now, we're done.
You're done.
In the next few years, $1 million, if you don't have $1 million, $500,000, you cannot get a land.
Yeah.
And who's going to do a mortgage for 500 with Gambian salary?
Well, this is it. And it's getting more and more difficult. And you're absolutely right. People need to think about these things and think of the future. Because what you're going to get, and this is not me trying to raise, because I always worry about people raising this thing about foreigners and so on. But lots of people who come from abroad, come from the West, and they buy land here because they can afford it. In the way that, because they earn enough money to buy and just pay for it. Upfront, and that's it. They don't think about a mortgage or anything. They just pay for it upfront.
But you know, Mr. Ade, you know one thing I observe in Gambia? Gambians, most of the time, do not have like that habit of saving money. I don't know if you've sensed that as an individual who's not lived here before. Like,
it's not just Gambia, and the reason I say it's not just Gambia is because I was involved in a project in Sierra Leone about 20 years ago where we wanted to encourage people to get into the habit
of saving.
And one of the things that we found, which that's kind of gone away, and I worked for an organization, I was the chairman, Africa Foundation for Development, and when we spoke to the banks were asking that to open an account, you needed, let's say, the equivalent of about $200. And we're like, what? Who the hell has $200 to open an account? And why did you set it so high? So we brought all the banks in Sierra Leone together and said to them, allow somebody to walk into your bank and open an account with nothing.
Yeah.
And then they can start saving.
They can.
You know, and now that's the norm.
Even
now.
in Gambia,
and we did that. I mean, anybody can quote me on this. We did that.
Good.
And that's the same here now.
Yeah.
You don't have to have this ridiculous
amount of money to be able to open an account.
But you're right. You need to say to people, start the habit of saving,
even if
putting
it's $100.
aside. This is it. You know, from your monthly pay, put aside a bit. But what you have is that people say, I'm going to save so that when Korite comes, I can buy new shoes, new clothes, new this, new that. When Tobaski comes, I can buy a ram and so on. You know, yes, it's all good.
You know, people here, like most of the time, people don't save for the future.
No.
They save for an event or save for
that's the
something
point I'm
coming
making.
up.
Yeah.
So the thing is, people sometimes, you talk to them, they say, how can I save when there's something that I need to take care of? So the matter is, the habit we're talking about is $100, as small as that.
Sure.
To just, you know, have that sense of continuity that I have to put this together for this. You know, it's important. It's very important.
You know, I used to joke about this when I was in England. I used to say that it's in our DNA. And the reason I said that is because studies have found in England that the black community overwhelmingly are the worst when it comes to saving.
Yeah.
We spend more on hair and nails than any community in England I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know, black people spend more on their appearance in terms of the amount that comes from their pay than any community. And so rather than saving and I'll give you an example. A friend of mine, in fact, she was a classmate to my sister. They fled Uganda when Idi Amin kicked the Asians out, and they went to England. And when they went there, for the first 5 years, the whole family lived, a father, mother, and 5 children, and all they had were 2 bedrooms.
Yeah.
So people slept, 3 slept in the sitting room.
Yeah.
The others, and you know, I used to go and visit them. I think,
why is this
why
happening?
are they doing this?
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, and this is not a made-up story. That family, they were able to save, start businesses. The house they have now in London actually has a swimming pool in it.
Because it's self-discipline.
There is no African family that I know that would have mother, father, 3 children, 5 of you, living in one
and
place.
later developed. And that is like some
They'll
form
be
of
like,
self-discipline.
no, we want to spend. Yeah, it's discipline.
Discipline.
And
you
we
know,
don't have
saving
that.
is discipline. If the discipline is not there, you know, it's not going to happen.
So start it now.
Yeah.
Put aside a small amount from your wages every month and just say, I'm not going to touch that. These are my savings. And you're saving for a rainy day.
You are.
You know,
the rainy day can come and you have no one to depend on. And you're just yourself.
Yeah.
You know, yourself.
It's a discipline.
Yeah, I think the saving habit for me came from when my grandmother's children started walking, and I saw how she was so particular about this is for this, this is for this.
Right.
Although when I started working, we didn't like live with each other, but because I saw that and knew that, okay, it is important that whatever you do, there's a small amount of money that you actually like have to put aside. And she inculcated that in her kids, and I saw that.
Right.
So that actually like really helped.
Yeah, and in England, I have friends who are from Eritrea and inculcated it in you, obviously.
Okay, yes. Yes. So it's important.
Yes, it's important.
Yeah.
Sure.
So, Mr. Ade, I think you have to stay with us. You are the VJ today.
I'm the
You're
VJ.
the VJ.
I'm the
so
VJ.
we will just invite Ansumana Isonyasi shortly, and we'll be taking a look at yesterday's event. President Adama Barrow officially receiving the GTSC buses from the Q Group, and he will get to update us more about happenings from there yesterday. We'll be right back.
Sure.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
to build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
with ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm here with my amazing co-host Ade Rami.
There's only one amazing co-host, and that's Ibrahim Abalde, so behave.
So I'm here with Ansumana Isonyasi as well. He'll be giving us an update in relation to yesterday's event. President Adama Barrow yesterday officially received the GTSC.
He commissioned them.
He commissioned, yes.
Yes.
That's the right word to use.
Right
commissioned,
word. Yes.
The GTSC buses. Yeah. So yeah, and Savannah. Before that, I think we have a story,
a clip or two.
A clip that we can take a look at. And when we come back, Ansumana Isonyasi is here to give us all the necessary information. Let's take a look at that.
This development cannot come at a better time, considering the recent significant improvements on our road infrastructure network and the growing traffic congestion in the greater Banjul area. Despite the government's achievements in this sector, the need to complement road infrastructure development with proper road transport operations is obvious.
All right, that's President Adama Barrow there at the event yesterday. So Ansumana, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Jennifer. Thank you, and morning to Mr. Ade as well, and to the viewers and the VJ who was here.
The VJ,
yes.
So that was President Adama Barrow there at the event, giving his speech in relation to the GTSC buses, the 33 new GTSC vehicles. Yeah. So what can you further tell us from his statement yesterday?
Yeah, so he said a lot of things, but I think the key takeaways from his statement is one, the key group's contribution to national development, government's commitment to supporting the transport sector, plans for the future, the infrastructural developments that are happening within the transport sector as well, and the need for more public-private partnership. Basically, these were the main, takeaways from his statement. But also how important this project is, as it is the part of the first phase of government's accelerated, transport initiative, development initiative. So it's a huge project, like I said, and I think for me, these are the key takeaways from his statement yesterday.
Yeah, and he also mentioned, and something that we're all conscious of, the problems commuters have getting to and from work, the cost,
and accidents as well.
And I was going to come to that. Of course, my favorite topic, road traffic accidents, and so these are very, very, as we can see on there on the screen there, really safe. And I did ban people from using the word state of the art, but they are buses. They got everything. They've got computerized. They've got videos in there, so they can watch and see. Because and those things are important. If people think, well, why have they got cameras in a bus and so on? Imagine somebody falls ill or something happens in the bus, and you need to know, and you'll see on the screen. So there are reasons why these things are there, and they look really.
For police investigations,
they look
these
fantastic.
are public places. No matter what.
So
very, very convenient, really very comfortable. And, I know...
Okay, the president looks happy. He looks so happy.
Especially
smiling.
These days
he looks happy, smiling and sitting comfortably.
They are really very comfortable buses. I think, I remember him, and even the GTSC chairman also saying, a chairman of the board saying that people, should support this project, but for drivers as well, driving these buses to handle them with care, so they could last long, but also, so that people can continue really to enjoy the services that they are meant
Yeah, I mean, the point I wanted anyone to make, and I don't think anybody did make it, was that you've mentioned about the drivers handling the bus as well. I think the passengers too.
Exactly.
When you come in, don't be rough with the furniture in the bus. And if you're drinking or eating something, carry it with you. Don't throw it on the floor and think, or throw it on the seat that you've just gotten up out of. You know, and so we have a role to play, and I think we need to make that very, very strongly, because part of the reasons why commuters behave like that is because if you look at some of the buses that people are forced to take, I mean, they look like moving dustbins. Yeah. And so people treat them like dustbins.
I think there's an important point you've made there. I mean, I went to school in Banjul, and I remember in the first, 6 months, I had been traveling from the Combos to Banjul, before I stayed with my aunt. But I remember there was a time when one of my uncles gave me a lift. And I, could recall asking him to, take along some of the students on the highway. And he said, no, you bring them in, they mess the furniture with the furniture and all that. And I could see it. He was right. And that really made me, I felt very bad because, you know how tough it is out there, and people really struggling to get to school, especially early morning. I really felt that, and I think it's important you've raised this point.
So so these buses have come up at an opportune moment, I think. Just as people are screaming, crying out. We know there have been discussions about raising fares and so on, and this is again going to impact.
A lot of fare cuts.
It's going to impact that, and of course in terms of competition, it's bringing competition into the market, which is good.
At least taxi drivers will behave, knowing that.
Okay,
don't come after me, please.
So all those free rides you were getting.
All the free rides, right? So I think the chairman, we have the chairman's statement. The chairman of the GTSC. So let's take a look at that, and when we come back, the conversation continues.
India is one of the most urbanized countries in West Africa, with over 60% of its population living in the Greater Banjul area. It is in response to this demographic reality that the government, in close collaboration with GTSC, deemed it necessary and timely to roll out this nationally important initiative to address the attendant challenges that come with urbanization.
Currently, GTSC operates a minimum of 6 buses, from both North Bank and South Bank, Banjul Base, and it's always full to capacity. That justifies the fact that the demand for buses is acute, because certainly we all want to minimize the accidents happening on our...
All right, so you're just talking about minimizing accidents, so it's good that,
So before him was Kanye, the general manager. That's right.
Yeah, so and he, this is the urban, it's an urban project, because we were talking about, this decentralization, but I also talked about the fact that, the urban area is densely populated.
Of course, I mean, and that figure that is mentioned there, it kind of glossed over it, but that's quite staggering. That is so urbanized that 60% of the population lives in the country.
More than half the population of this country
lives in the greater Banjul and the greater Banjul area. That is staggering.
That's it.
And that's the truth. And with that come demands for transport, of course. And so, I think our own chairman later on, I think in the interview you gave, he mentioned the kind of that this is the start, that ideally they would have had 200 buses, and that was the plan, because that would take up some of, but this is going to make quite a significant contribution.
At least,
I think this is more like a pilot,
just to see
how it is going to work. And so we should all, ensure that this project succeeds, so it could be, decentralized, and Gambians, in other parts of the country could also get to enjoy the same services, at very affordable prices. Because if we know how much people are paying to get to, if you live in Coastal Road,
it's hard. But at least he has a car. But how about individual? Not everybody has.
You'll have to pay like 3-4 times, to get to Westfield.
What if you want to even take a town trip? It will not work.
Well, I mean, and also what you have is that, and I mentioned this again, when immediately after Tobaski, when obviously there were not a lot of commercial vehicles on the road, I ended up giving people lifts because I saw them just waiting, and I knew they were going to be waiting forever. So I would stop and say, you know, can I drop you here, there, wherever? And so, and you know, people even up to this morning. So this happens, and so this is going to make a significant difference to it, particularly in this area where people are having serious problems in getting transportation.
And for the GTSC too, I think it's good that this you know, they have this project that they're enjoying social support as well, because you know, as the transportation arm of the government, they offer at least, you know, better services, you know, safer services as well, you know, unlike just the general transport. So I think it's important, and for me, I would want to see this project really expanded.
Looking forward to that. So I think we have the chairman's statement. You have a private interview with him.
The
chairman of the
he made a statement during the official ceremony, after the ceremony as well.
I think the one we're going to see is him during the ceremony when he's at the podium.
I want to take this opportunity to thank all Q Group customers who have been patronizing us and believe in us. They believe in the Gambian companies. They believe in the Gambian dream. The fruits of supporting your own companies is what we are celebrating today, believing in the Sunyubos concept. The bidding process followed all the procedure and protocols of GPPA, the Gambia Public Procurement Authority, and Espas Motors was able to deliver the buses on time with the right specification. Thank you very much, Espas Motor team.
All right, thank you very much to the Espas Motors team for delivering on time.
A crucial point there.
The
procurement process. I think we cannot kind of skirt around this. This followed certain procedure, and it meant that companies that bid in the process were both Gambian and international companies. And you know, I know people say, oh, the chairman's always going on about, you know, Gambia this, Gambia that, but we need to support our own. And if we can perform better than international companies to get, you know, to win a bid like this, that is something significant. And he also says something important when he was being interviewed by ESO, and he said, you know, there are probably Gambians out there who can do more than Mohamed Jah, I'm doing, if they're given the chance. And this is another thing, you know, we're always giving chances to foreigners and so on. If we have suitably qualified people, let's open the road for them so they can perform.
I think
we might be surprised.
He couldn't have said it any better, really. The reason he said that is because during the bidding process, I mean, one of the requirements was for whoever, you know, was going to be awarded a contract to pre-finance the project. And he was the only, you know, for a project of this magnitude, you can imagine, you know, the amount of money involved in this. And even though there were international companies involved, you know, they pulled out.
They could not meet that criteria.
They couldn't meet the criteria because there's a lot of money involved. And so you have a Gambian company, you know, willing to, you know, pre-finance the project. You know, and is still showing willingness to also be part of the expansion, you know, phase of the project. Which I mean, you heard him earlier talking about plans. You know, the initial plan was to purchase, you know, about 200 buses.
So but the president's smile, it is for me.
If you go in those buses,
when the bus is that comfortable, you'll be smiling too.
Okay, all right, I get that. I get that. So I think we will just end with the interview as well. You had a, you know, one-on-one interview with the chairman. So we'll take a look at that, and then when we come back, we'll just allow you to go, and we'll just head right on to some entertainment.
On the government to continue to partner with the private sector. And I can tell you, Nyasi, there are a lot of young Gambians who can do bigger than what Mohamed Jah is doing and the Q Group. But they need to be given opportunity, you know. So let the government open its doors. And that's why I call on the government to pass the local content bill so that Gambians will not be complaining that they don't have the advantage, that they are muscle out when it comes to bidding and competition. We should give our people priority. Every country does that. If you go to America, they say buy American. You go to France, buy France. Why don't we say buy Gambian? You know, but it's currently a lip service.
A lot of us are just talking about it, but in terms of implementation, it's almost zero. So, and I believe President Barrow is going to take action. He has told me, I have been re-emphasizing, whilst we were in the boss, telling him that we need to not only give opportunity to the Q group, but to all the Gambian companies who have...
That's the point we were trying to put across.
Me, the point is, Jennifer, you did a story last week where you were talking about people getting skills. I'm saying to young Gambians, skill up. Get your skills. If you have the skills, somebody, Gambian, whether it's the government or another business, and they give the job to somebody else, they have to justify it.
They have to.
And some of the ways they justify it is by saying, oh, we don't have the skill, Gambians, to do it. If you have the skills, you will get the job.
Very true.
And you know, so people out there don't say, oh, you know, we interviewed some time ago 5 young men who had been amongst the 5 people who had survived a boat that had capsized. And they said they wanted to get to Spain. And I asked them a simple question. If you get to Spain, what skills do you have? And they're like, we don't have any.
Yeah, and in this particular interview that I did, you can see how these young people are emphasizing that when you have a skill, then you make it anywhere. You go with your skill.
And one guy brilliantly said, you know, I want to be my own boss. That's why I got skills.
Honest. He was like, I want to be independent.
You know, so get your skills. And then, you know, Gambian companies and the government cannot say we're giving this job to foreigners or we're giving it to somebody else. We're giving it to Gambians. We're giving it to the skilled Gambians because they deserve it and they have the skills.
They do. They do. Yeah, and Samana, any other thing before we leave you?
No, I mean, I just want to say we should all support this project. I think it's important. And, you know, continue to patronize the Q group as well. I mean, without them, I don't think this would have been possible.
And my own closing one on this is to the public. I'm begging you. These buses look magnificent. I want them to look magnificent in a year's time.
Please.
I don't want them to look like a dustbin on wheels. So please treat them with care. That's all.
Please, dustbin on wheels.
You know, we don't want that.
Don't allow that. Do not. You know, so thank you so much, Ansumana. I think that is about it on it, on the GTSC buses.
I think so.
I think so too.
But it's, and I went through this whole thing without using my phrase game changer.
Game changer.
But it is.
Yeah, state of the art. Okay. Thank you so much, Ansumana, for joining us. All right, so we'll go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll head right on to the click segment. We'll be right back.
The biggest mobile money service in the Gambia has taken mobile banking to the next level. Now, you can link your Q Money wallet with your bank account. Yes, link your Ajib or EcoBank accounts with your Q Money wallet and get instant access to your cash anytime. No need to queue at the bank anymore. Transfer funds from your bank account to your wallet or your wallet to your bank account using Q Money Bank Link is the fastest, most secure, and convenient way to transfer funds between your wallet and bank account. For more information, call our customer care on 133. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe. Terms and conditions apply.
Save up to 50% energy with the new side-by-side Samsung refrigerator. Samsung air conditioners come with HD filter and antibacterial for your protection. Save time, energy, and effort by using our washing machines, loaded with innovative features that offer superior cleaning technology. Step into the future of television with our slick and slim Samsung Smart TV designs. Sizes range from 32 to 85 inches. Smart LED, Crystal UHD Ultra High Definition, and QLED Quantum Dark LED. Get new ways of interacting with your TV. Unparalleled vision, right from the comfort of your living room. Our products are backed with 1-year warranty. Visit us at QCell Building at Caraba Avenue or at Boost Turntable. Contact us on 333-217 or email us at info@quantumnet.gm. Have you been looking for the perfect indoor router with long-range Wi-Fi coverage and faster internet speed connecting all your smart devices? Well, we present to you the QCell Indoor Router, a router that has all you need and much more. For just $4,275, you can get 4G plus internet speed, wide coverage, and connect up to 15 devices. And that's not all. The indoor router can be used for both office and home needs. So, enhance your internet experience with our indoor router. For more info, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyubus, we innovate, others follow. Your favorite QCell service has gotten bigger. eFunkanta. Now you can loan bigger credit amounts to make life easier for you. Loan $75 and $100 and pay later. Yes, you heard me right. Get credit loan from $10 to $100 using eFunkanta by dialing *393#. Anytime you run out of credit, whether you want to buy Q-Power, browse the internet, make urgent calls, or send SMS. eFunkanta is the service for you. Dial *393# and choose the loan amount of your choice with no hassle. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus, the pioneers of mobile loan service in the Gambia. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Want it? Order for it and pay quickly using Quick Pay on the Q Money platform. With great technology comes ease and convenience. Get a glimpse of what a comfortable life is with Q Money by dialing *323# now. Call 133 for more information. Q Money, Sunyu Kalpe.
Light. From the beginning of time, light has been there.
It is integral to our survival and to our way of living.
We need light to work,
to build,
to grow things, and even to see our loved ones.
Light makes things easier and better.
So QCell has changed the way you buy Q-Power to make it easier and more accessible.
You can now access the same service quickly and get your cash power tokens instantly with the new QCell Q-Power code.
To light up your world, simply dial *363#.
With a touch of your fingers,
with ease and convenience from the comfort of your home or office,
you can bring light into your world instantly with *363#.
Q-Power, lighting your world.
QCell Sunyabus.
We innovate, others follow.
Your favorite QCell service has gotten bigger. eFunkanta. Now you can loan bigger credit amounts to make life easier for you. Loan $75.
So, Mr. Ade, we're back again.
We are indeed.
And
we're about to go into Click segment.
Click.
And I think we have to give a kind of a message to the public here.
Yeah.
People keep asking me, you know, I hear about Buba Fati, I hear about Skengman Sweezy. They're not the same person.
Two different people.
They're identical twins. Okay?
Yeah.
So there's Buba Fati and there's Skengman Sweezy.
Exactly.
They're not the same.
No, I'm Skengman Sweezy. Buba Fati is at home.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
Good morning, guys. I'm Skengman Sweezy, and this is the morning show, Click segment that comes away from Monday to Thursday. And I have amazing guests with me in the studio today, man. First timer, you guys are welcome to the show, man. I have Denzi and I have TSJ.
Definitely, you know the vibe. Shout out to everybody. Before my move, I gotta shout out to everybody in Casamas. Shout out to the love in Casamas. It's immense. You get me still.
Yeah.
Mr. Chiltuma Dick alive, TSJ in the building, Sweezy, Demzy, we do it.
Demzy, well going, bro. You good?
What do you Assalamu alaikum Gambia, Assalamu alaikum world. Come to learn what they said, boy, more finna can Harit, Demzy.
Okay, so TSJ, I'm starting with you today.
Yes, sir.
The World Go Round, the song that you released.
Yes, sir.
That's years back, man.
Alright, but hold on. I'm not gonna pose you, but I'm gonna say this. This music thing is like karma. What goes around comes around. Yeah, man. When I speak, you be answer. Can you cure my cancer? Big belly girl, belly dancer, listen to digger con la la. I think a little faster.
You haven't fun already, man. I told you, man. When you were walking, did you ever realize that the world go round, the song that you released, was going to get you the fame that you had before in the Gambia?
Fame is in Gambia is overrated, you see.
Exactly.
But I know I acquired a lot of love on that particular song. I'm grateful for it because especially QTV. I need to mention this. QTV is doing a great job, you know.
Yeah.
Because man, balama was my boss. People need to
Exactly.
It's normal. I'm gonna accept that fact. People don't know who I am, but whenever I go somewhere, boy, what's a video be like up on QTV? They tell me all the time. Shout out to Mohammed Jah for that. Gambian lam get feel nice. So
yeah, exactly.
I mash up songs like cover songs.
Cover songs.
Because my original songs why QTV boko den si ñu nga xamné ñu play a big part ñu am. Comme fu ma mu do taxaw dal li ci dañu wone ki xam na ko.
Yeah, and definitely as well, you're a producer, you're a musician, and then you are into the industry as well, helping artists as well in the industry.
Big time, big time.
Yeah, so how is the producing work art sort of, how is it going with you?
Producing, I'm a mom like a style. So shout out to them one mom nega rek nga xamne momo gëna supposedly dem na bay xamne waaw producing bi dina dem comme soko bëggé bolé tam ak
music bi, yeah, it's going to work as well.
Pour dem master na def ay cover song so master ay cover song so yalla def na comme cover song bi daf ma gëna boost.
Exactly, especially QTV that played a big role in that as well.
Because always QTV then they play some music. Yeah. Like always comme na wone da comme like original songs comme du mako jeexal wa nga am original songs.
Exactly, and I know one.
Yoyu mom nako Gambia ha.
Yeah.
So
yo, Tiache, you don't know Laga Yahusa. I don't know. You've been hiding for a while, man.
Yeah, man.
What is the reason, bro?
Dano, I mean, whatever, man. People say whatever they feel like. But shout out to the man with the dimples still. You know what I mean? Once my life I'm free. I'm very, very welcoming to anything. But you hang on the hell. There's one thing I have that none of these artists right now have. Man, I have a comeback. Exactly. Nobody can tell me from what day one seems like or how it felt like or how it's supposed to be like. But right now, you don't get sit and come tele. I can feel like tele. You can't understand. So I told them that you didn't call, but I told you didn't call because my kids now let low lemon. Man, I'm afraid it's a boy stalling. Like a boy doing star.
Yeah.
I understand.
Man, I'm not gonna come in there. You say anything.
Why then a boy without the board?
I'm gonna big up. I'm gonna go shout out to the man with the dimples still.
Exactly, the man with the dimples. That's them right here. Exactly, yeah.
We got a song. We got a song. We got stuff.
But you know when you were giving your shout out, I thought you were going to give like a special shout out to
you know my mom. I got Sonko. No, I'm not Jennifer. I'm a Gina boy. Jennifer, I'm not boy. Jennifer, I love Jennifer, but Jennifer says she got a husband.
No, we're going to talk about that after the show. We're going to talk about that after. So now, Dempsey, what really got into the music? I know you've been in producing, but now you're going into singing full time as well. Yeah. So what inspired that as well?
Music come down on them school. Music. They got a come. None of my parents can music take artists. Can music take waiter. Okay. Music come look at come to my dapla dal. Them money get school. Because my brother got that time from so watch school. I'm going to do a CV studio. We talk for me. So I'm going to come to Yaga studio. Lu Yaga getting away.
Little force. That's by force.
Come no for them. So Matami Bobla talking. Madam small grade 9. So then you were on come then you were on graduation. After Bola was my boys. Man, why not boy? You have like a farewell song. Okay. So we did a farewell song. So since Bob na bumo way for that.
Exactly. You felt like I can do this.
Since Bob na muduma stop. So after my senior school, I'm on for original songs because by my wife I'm on for almost 5 songs by my junior school. Where after my junior level, after Bob dem na be mo buy my music as
a career as
well.
Yeah.
After Bob continue like music, them be QTV just more being cover songs.
Yeah. And that was mad.
Yeah, tabu like a 4 regular one. After that, when they talk, me about like Gambian music. See,
yeah,
I'm gonna combine them all together. I'm gonna definitely like a one song.
Yeah.
So more of the Gambian thing over like. So even somebody else is so what I perform my original songs. Why not going to perform some sub songs?
I know.
So I perform sub songs. So small is a crowd in your play you. So crowd in your play you. So what like them look me up. When I want to leave my a YouTube channel, start calling like every year.
And it has really boosted the career as well.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot of people get to know you because of that as well. Now, TSJ.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You're coming back full time.
Big time. Big time, bro.
Yeah, so, how have you seen the music industry lately?
So far, so good. But I'm a confessor. I'm a confession before Mudao. Attack, I don't like your song with Jizzle. I don't like that song. Particularly the Bandit song. I feel like that song is about me. I'm gonna give you Bandit. No, I'm not like that way. Okay. Because boy doing bandi, you see me, I'm fitted. I don't look like my music video, do I?
No, you don't.
Most definitely. You cannot dress like me and come outside. You cannot speak English like I do. It's not possible. You don't have the dictionary. You get. But regardless of whatsoever, it's just fun and jokes aside.
Why do you feel like Attack and Diesel, the song was about you?
No, because I make the world go round. I ain't even talking about dialysis. Yeah,
because that song is a good song, actually.
It's a good song, and I cannot have a best song. How long have I been outside? 3-4 years ago. And you're still making the same basic songs like last year. Bro, I'm still doing the same thing you're doing, man. Show me something different.
Attack, the message is for you, man. Show him something different.
No, I'll apply, boy. Attack do my
Okay, apply. Apply. Exactly. So we're going for a quick break by TSG. We'll be right back. Quick break, man. Premiering the music video, official on QTV. We'll be right back.
It's Real Life Music.
TSG. Someone saw them away. Baby, do my buganyo. Do my buganyo. Baby, do my buganyo. Yo, I'm only my die. Can only bend on my body. Baby, I'm loving your body. Even my fire when it's sunny. I cannot live without you. My love for you is so true. I cannot live without you. My love for you is so true. Our love is beautiful. Our love is beautiful. Our love is beautiful. Our love is beautiful. Your black 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 is beauty. Baby, dance to my music. Want my eyes shack me. She don't make my duty. Like young girl, big girl, show me more love. Zemba girl, boom, I guess I hold the new gender. Marco Terran and Lao, so I guess out my joy, Lord. So I guess out my joy, Lord. So I guess out my joy, Lord. Girl, I know you're part of me. So I saw them away. Baby, do my buganyo, do my buganyo.
That's it right there from TSJ, man.
Yeah.
No, you see, I felt the chemistry with you and Jennifer.
But you know what, like I'm singing. You know what I'm like.
Exactly. It's like you were singing for Jennifer.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know, Jennifer, it's personal on a personal level. Maybe Hamud, man, you get. But emotion is young for. It's already 1+1.
Trust me, man. You've been real.
Yeah. Bro.
You know
what I like about that song?
Yeah.
That line. Yeah. Your black is beautiful.
Yeah, you see.
And you know, the reason I said that is I'm one of these people who I complain all the time. Every time I see a brother who looks like you or like me, and they have a video, and there's a woman in it, she's always like 10 shades lighter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You haven't done that. Yeah. Trust me. If you don't believe me, check any video.
Yeah.
So I love that. Big up to you.
Yeah, so big up to Jennifer too, you know.
Yeah, crush.
Every time.
Big up to Jennifer as well, man. Now, let's talk about this song and the visuals. Who did the visual and what inspired the song as well?
Okay, would you believe me if I told you this song is at least 3 or 4 years old? Who would imagine that? This song is at least 4 years old.
Yeah, it looks fresh.
This was around the same time I sang World Go Round. It was supposed to be the next big thing.
Okay.
But regardless, if you would notice, I have a cigarette in that song. Most of you would not notice. That's cancer. I want to actually enlighten a lot of youths out there. I'm a heavy smoker. I smoke for a living. Weed or howsoever you might quote, it's your business. But regardless, let's just make a living out of our lives. I understand. I cannot tell this story without actually having an implement or a substance in this video to actually accompany the story. Your black is beautiful. We're all black people. We know we're struggling. We know we're having a hard time. We know it's tough. But then because of the fact that I'm a musician, man, my house my baba.
Okay.
You understand it's normal. But then regardless, I'm at some mind, I'm so sense, I'm doing that life. You understand? And then the fact that this song is about 3-4 years old, I understand fact that you attack the phone. ñoom gisul defuñ dara because tune bi rek rey na gay tune bi rek def na lu
I'm not commenting on that as well. You know the issue is, you know, we are mediators between you guys. You get it, so you cannot, you don't expect me to say
my
once.
brother though.
So exactly. And big shout out to everybody that's doing it big in the music industry as well.
Okay.
That was really a wise message from you there. You know, at least trying to enlighten people about smoking as well. You know, that's really good. Now to you, my brother. Yeah, let's talk about your upcoming project that you're working on as well.
For me, like currently, I'm getting with 5 EPs. 5 EPs, you have you have
5 EPs.
5 EPs. EP, it's like 6 songs. You have like 6 songs left for that. Okay. With an album boom, then I could drop like this December, inshallah.
So when are you planning on dropping the EPs as well?
Wow, you get plan, but you get plan to take like an event with my manager. You get what answer. So inshallah, like first fly with the Nenko Guinea, so we
need to see that, man.
Yeah.
And we're going for a quick break as well by Dempsey. This one is called Gam Drill Mashup. Okay. We'll be right back after this break.
Dempsey,
Purchase your tracks.
Every day I be grinding. I pray to God I be signing. Me and my dog, we be balling now. Ika muna head, falling na muna gila. Ika muna head, falling na muna gila. Ika muna head, falling na muna gila. Ika muna head. I point my head to the sky. I'm saying Alhamdulillah for the blessing, for the money, for the fame. Masala. I see love, I see hate, I see real, I see fake. Kept on moving. Why you hating? When all I do is win, niggas debating. Yeah, I'm on the 18. And I'm cashing all this money, we in the same G. I fall with a family, yeah. But of the winter, I got the voice, I got the choice, I'm like Sunita. I got the juice, baby, yeah, this is Luneta. And my rhymes are deep like Dominic Pereira, yeah. I was born for, but
why you be listening to that?
Dempsey doing it there, right there, man. Mashup thing is taking you to another level, man.
Wow, yeah. I tell you, I'm gonna drop like a new video, with a new like original songs like what but video director be. I'm like a small problem. I have like the computer. Be moving to export song be. Like I expect like next week, inshallah, I will drop the video, inshallah. I gotta be prepared. Song we don't go dig in content, inshallah.
Exactly, man. No, we should listen to it as well, man. Now, TSJ, what is your next move in the industry, bro?
Oh, you know, I just dropped a 4-song EP. My baby game. In case you don't know, I'm the baby. Yeah, I'm the baby of this music industry. Attack my baby. I'm a baby. Look what I'm a child, man. I do whatever I feel like. Newcomer la. But regardless, I have a 4-song.
No, you're not a newcomer.
No, however they code. Me, I don't mind. Okay. But you have Baby, you have Bad, you have Naughty, and then you have Wanted. These are all songs you have to release now. And then Baby La release a video. And then in a month or two, I'm releasing another EP of 4 songs or maybe 5 songs. Exactly. I want to record 40 songs by the end of this year. Wish me luck.
40 songs.
40
Good
songs,
luck, bro. Wish you all the best as well.
And before
man.
you come in, just quickly, a bit of history. You know, in the old days, they used to have singles and they used to have LPs.
Okay.
And in the middle, you had EP.
Okay.
It stands for extended play.
Exactly.
Okay. So.
He was the DJ before.
I thought TSJ was going to say that his next tune is going to be a collabo between him and Attack, but hey.
Attack go future boy. Attack is too little for me at this stage.
I know, man. So you know, it's a culture on the show, man. Before we take a leave of you guys, we need to have the collabo, the chemistry, man. It's that part of the show wherein, you know, we had the freestyle thing and other stuff like that. Let me have my beat. We're now going to the freestyle session. And after that, we're going to call it off, man. So, my beat, man.
Give me something, man.
Give us a beat.
We're about to have fun.
DJ, run the track.
This is a song you about to go out very soon, though.
Nice.
Introducing and endorsing, ain't no one I'd rather be, ain't no singer I'd rather spell. Your love is more than swept me up my feet, Kulosa, jungle lover, wanna be your only lover. Boy mama ikandole nata, sunstrane du musa dem sacha bugananga hamne. So boy nyoe de nyo pacho, tela jola boy neti gajo.
Hey, yeah. Let's go. I used to be cool many ways, cause everybody's fave they gave me. Now people chose me every season. Why you always wanna fight me? No ways. Got some money. Anywhere I go, them call me honey. Even your chick, your one and only. Cause when you fame, fine girls are funny. Yeah. Why you wanna block my sign? Why you wanna block my shine? Close my life. No. So you can't go, now you can't go. Why you wanna press stop?
Nimbi tije, sama bijele. Kodo beda oda fana bijele. Kabrimba kang alkampele kotele. Lyrical pele sumotal bitoid. Ma dolly len bene. Nimbi tije, sama bijele. Kodo beda oda fana bijele. Kabrimba kang alkanjelele. Lyrical pele sulen style bitoid. Ma dolly len bene. I one man alone but different like. I'm on lost up sumataka.
You know that nice stuff at Jacka. Call me nice, Funeka. Muna Joker.
But we go chase them, boy.
It's like we're chasing each other.
Yeah, baby.
You know my guys are eyeing you today.
Yes, sir. Moko your boy.
I don't know what's happening.
They're eyeing you, man.
That's what, yeah.
So who are you going to give chance?
Excuse me?
Some of them talk say that could use like 8 p.m.
Hold on,
go best video.
Oh, really? You're interested too?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Oh my God.
I think we should do a competition for Journalistic.
Love to be
you have
popular.
a lot of crush out there, though.
Oh, I do?
A lot of crush out there, yeah. You do.
Yeah. Why I'm on fit? I'm on fit before you see man. What man then man up? Anyway, time's up.
Time is up, man. Time is up. So till I come here tomorrow, man. I'm saying bye, man. It was nice having you guys in the studio, and I'd love to see what you guys are up to next.
Shout out to all the viewers.
Alright, Saturday. That is all we have time for.
Nyom Bruka, Nyom Kalau. My mom, gang the
okay.
Yeah. Shout outs to all the Kulolians.
IG family,
shout out to my
everybody.
manager. Shout out to everyone out there. You're getting in your way.